You're listening to Titans of the Trades. I'm your host, Ryan Englin, author of Hire Better People Faster and creator of the CoreFit hiring system, a proven process to help growing companies attract and retain only the best. I'm on a mission to revolutionize the perception of the trades and elevate it to new heights. After growing up in a blue-collar family, my passion for making the trades cool again runs deep. If you're a titan in the industry and want to be on my show, stick around until the end and I'll reveal how you can be my next guest. Welcome back to another episode. I am your host, Ryan Englin. Today's guest is Ira Singer. He's a founder of Mosaic Construction. They're a nationally recognized general contractor, and he is just a wealth of information in how to build relationships inside the industry, whether you're a sub or a trade partner or someone that is working with general contractors. He is just going to be sharing so many tips and tricks on how to build better relationships so you can go win more jobs and continue to grow your company. Ira, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Ryan. It's great to be here. Appreciate being on the show.
Yeah, I'm excited for today's conversation. We were talking a little bit beforehand, and as you know, there are subcontractors all over the country of varying sizes, of varying maturity levels in their business, all looking to bid on the same kind of work, all looking to go get more work so they can grow their company. And having great relationships with the general contractor is one of the best places to start. So I just want to open it up to you. Tell me a little bit about what Mosaic is doing. Tell me about your philosophy and how trade partners and subs can really start creating better relationships.
Sure. So Mosaic Construction is a design build firm based out of the suburbs of Chicago and Northbrook. We are working in a variety of different projects. Our asset class portfolio is very diverse based on the relationships that we have formed with architects and clients, also based on the talent of my team at Mosaic and the kind of projects that they're really good at managing. So as general contractors, we work directly with trade partners locally and across the nation. We do that in a variety of successful, intentional practice ways that result in us getting the trade partners to bid our projects and awarding and winning the project. So it's a win-win-win, the client, us as general, and our trade partners. And, there's some secret sauce there for sure.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that.
Yeah, well, let's do it because I know it's really interesting. I know some subs that are just straight up way too busy. Like they win everything they bid on and they've got great relationships. And I got others going, oh my gosh, the country's in trouble. I can't get more work. I don't know what's going on. So let's talk about what's the difference between the one that seems to be able to have the Midas touch on every bid that they submit and the one that's struggling. What do you see the difference?
Well, I'm going to just, so for us at Mosaic, our relationship with our vendors and trades are as partners. They are all vendor partners. They are all trade partners. It's not subs or suppliers. I mean, these are relationships that we intentionally go after. And so I think the first thing that is, if you have a service component to your trade business, that's fine. And if the majority of your work is working on projects, most projects are brought to the trades through the general contractor. Mm-hmm. And so developing relationships with general contractors is great. How you find them, how you find their reputation and put yourself in front of them as a known trade to, I get inundated every day with emails, to find trades, or it's a trade company, a painting trade, a drywall trade, a masonry trade. They're reaching out to me to say, do you have projects? Do you have projects? And I don't think that's the right way because I'm typically delete.
Yeah.
And so, phone calls are more intentional to make relationships with general contractors. For those that are busy versus those that aren't, I can't speak to those business practices. For us, the outbound work that we do in business development bears fruit, and there's low-hanging fruit and high-hanging fruit. And, the trades aren't what bring us business opportunities. The trades are what make us great project deliveries. Yeah. And so working in partnership with trades on a project is another part of the conversation we can have, but specifically to your trades getting business, I think it starts with relationships. Pricing matters. It matters for us at the general contractor level. So, they may not be the awarded plumbing trade if they're competitively bidding project for a general because they're higher priced. So those are things to look at, your pricing model, how you can be more competitive with your numbers so we can be more competitive with our numbers.
Does low bid always win?
It's funny, we were having that discussion this morning in our sales tactics meetings.
Okay.
How much does the relationship, I recently brought on a new team member who's in sales role, was a Mosaic team member 5 years ago in a field-based production role. So he was working for the owner's side when he left us. And so we said to him, as he's back with us, is the low price the secret sauce, or is it the relationship? And of course, it's a combination of both. But taking out the owners to a baseball game doesn't necessarily matter when the bid numbers are in front of the decision maker. So it's interesting to hear. I think price always matters.
Yeah. Makes sense. It's interesting when you were giving that example about the phone call and about that personal relationship and what I would call the high touch activities that you can do to build those relationships. In the work we do at Court Matters, when we're teaching companies how to get in front of the right people and attract them, it's all about the high touch relationship. So many job seekers are accustomed to this idea of, I just go on the job boards and apply. And whoever says yes, that's who I get to talk to. But that's not building relationships. So even when we talk to job seekers, it's like, learn who the decision makers are. Connect with them on LinkedIn. Pick up the phone and have a conversation. Offer to take them out for a cup of coffee if they're willing to give you the time. Really build that relationship. And you're not going to get you're not going to get the job day one. But maybe in 3, 4, 5 months, they call you and you're the only person they're talking to.
Some of the best parts of me being in this business for the 30 plus years are the relationships that I have made with 25 plus year trade relationships who, are rock solid. Their reputation speaks for themselves. We have a history. Sometimes it's win for Mosaic, sometimes it's win-lose in the trade general relationship when it's existing construction and it's design build and you're going in and adaptively reusing and there's hidden conditions or there's change orders. Sometimes it's a negotiation. And so the relationship over the course of all those years, we've both benefited hugely. I always say as the general, the trades are really the stars of the show. They're the ones that are performing. Yeah. Our job is more of a producer director to make sure everything goes as planned and help the trades be awesome by, timely schedule updates, signing off on shop drawings, specification sheets, making sure we're under contract, lock, stock, and barrel, and we're communicating, on a substantive project where you're one of 20 trades in the production. So, being a great trade is responding timely with communication. If there's changes, communicating that to the project team. There's so many great practices that can help them in the field be great for us. I would also say in the bidding stage, those good behaviors show up and help us decide if the relationship is worth pursuing. So, we invite them to an opportunity. Do they respond on time? Do they show up at the walkthrough? This is not just Chicago and the local market. We use a couple of products, Building Connected and Plan Hub, which help us source trades in markets that are not local to our local market. And we typically hire local to the area that we're working in. So we have to find a way to find those trades. And so for the trade partners and vendor partners that are listening, that's a great thing. If you are not on those technologies, you'll have more bid opportunities through that. But how they respond to us through that platform, and then if it's an existing asset and we're walking through it, there's obviously going to be architecture and engineering drawings that they will get. And they're, of course, bidding to the plans and specs. But how they show up, how their RFI process comes back to us, how their bid shows up to us in terms of its completeness, those are all great things that if you're not doing that, those are things that in general looks for as a way to differentiate the trades.
I think that's a important distinction. It's not just about checking the boxes and doing the work. It's about how are you behaving when you show up? You know, are you doing the things that are going to make you stand out? Because there's so many people, you've probably heard this term before, but in construction, there's this term called pencil whipping. And, you know, it's when you just check all the boxes and go, woohoo, I'm done. And there's so much more behind it than that. It's not just a matter of sending in the bid. It's the follow up. It's the walkthrough. It's the conversations. It's being there and being available for them. And not only doing that ahead of time, but also doing that once you've won the work, not just
Well,
putting on the
completely.
song
So
and
what you're
dance.
saying is a more curated, elevated experience. And
Yeah.
if you speak with our clients, they would say that, the high touch points and the regular communications and the professionalism and, just the relationship as you go through. I mean, there's certainly bad stories in construction. Everyone's got them. We learn more from the mistakes we made on projects that didn't go as planned or that we lost a client because of, those things happen to everyone in every business, not just construction, but that's part of the construction storyline. It's the projects that are awesomely successful that you maintain the relationship. You have another project opportunity. So now you are really going from, a bid contractor to a relationship contractor to a preferred contract.
Mm-hmm.
A curated contractor. And that's because we put together a great team of trades and our team. I mean, again, I can't say it's all about the trades. And we have a group of 25 people that help all of that come together as well. But it is a partnership. There's no question about it.
Yeah. And that's interesting thing that you said, or I heard at least, was part of their job is to make you look awesome. Because if they're not doing their job, if they aren't looking awesome, they're not helping you look awesome, they're not going to be a preferred partner for long. They have to be
Yeah,
able to take a step back and go,
100%.
what's it look like through Mosaic's perspective? Not just be focused on me, but focused on the whole project.
I just think good behavior is what the bare minimum of what's expected. We're looking for rock stars.
Yeah.
You, of course, should be on time. You should, of course, keep your job site clean. Of course, you should submit your invoices at the end of the month. Of course, you should sign our contract as we're going to hire you on a job. I mean, those things are like basic blocking and tackling.
Yeah.
The elevated experience is, and of course, you should do workman-like work, which is what it says in your contract. The, exceptional is, keeping your job site safety, although safe, that you would say that's certainly an expectation as well. There's just ways that we have been fortunate to rework with a lot of trades because they know how to be great partners for us.
Yeah.
And that's there's so much value in that because we will not be successful without them being great.
Well, and you had mentioned before that you being a construction company that's adopted Procore, there is software and technology that your trade partners can interact with, can use, can adopt to actually communicate more effectively with the GC, or in this case, Mosaic. And
that's like a basic piece that, I mean, we have to have that.
Yeah.
The projects that run through that, change order opportunities, the most updated drawings, the photos we take and upload are all there. So yes, it is a great invisible connection to them, even though it's in Texas and we're in Northbrook. Procore, I mean, we have a site super and we've got boots on the ground.
Sure.
But there's real-time information that our trade partners have access to. By the way, they will elevate their own business and their own delivery experience by working on a project professionally because the touch points between general and trade partner are really important, that they will learn what matters on a project for what we're tracking. I mean, it's a win for them too, even though it's like, oh, we have to be on Procore. What the hell's that? We've never worked with it. No, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Using technology is a great thing. It efficiencies the project.
And that's what I'm hearing is that if you want to be a preferred trade partner with some of the biggest and fastest growing GCs and be someone that they're calling you in to be on more of their projects, adopting technology, adopting software, adopting new ways of thinking about how you manage the business it's almost table stakes. It's like you have to do it if you want to work with some of these top-notch general contractors like Mosaic. Did I get that right?
It's a good point. The other piece that is also helping us when they do that is our clients have a portal access to
Mm,
Procore as well. And so when they see the real time of what I described on the trade side that is shared with them on the client side, when they're and the project goes well because it's good communication and real time stuff, there's a great opportunity because of that elevated experience that project number 2 is coming to Mosaic.
mm.
So, we typically are loyal to the trades if we're working local to a market and there's going to be 7 locations and they can staff 5 of them geographically because it's an expansion and we build the first one, win it, get the second one, and now the 3, 4, and 5 come negotiated versus competitively bid. We're going to take the trades with us.
Yeah.
So everyone benefits.
Yeah. No, this has been great. I think one of the things that I want to call out with this, and for those of you listening right now, is that just because you've always done it that way doesn't mean it's the best way to do it. And if you want to elevate and you want to be more attractive to the general contractor as a trade partner or a vendor partner, you have to level up your game. You can't just do what you've done for the last 20 years and expect to continue to get better results. You're going to get the same thing over and over. And in the work that we do at Core Matters with the corporate hiring system, it's the same thing. My understanding is, Ira, Mosaic doesn't have a problem attracting some of the best talent and having a team full of rock stars. Like you guys are doing that on a regular
That's
basis.
right.
Is that right?
That is right.
And
I
that's
mean, we've had
because,
team members leave us for the next opportunity that was once in a lifetime. And I would say that we had a hand in readying those team members for what they were aspiring to, which is rewarding, even though there's a sting to it because you lost the rock star.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, being on our team, it's a great culture. I think that any company needs to have a cultural flagpole in the office that people understand the same language. They're identifying what's important and what they're working toward as a group. Having group together activities, be it NCAA pool or going out for the first whatever those things are,
yeah,
a picnic, a trade event to bring everybody together. All of those things certainly matter. The opportunity to grow your business has to be intentional.
yeah,
Like you said, you can't do the same thing and expect different results. We said yes and to clients that were local and were going national, and they asked if we wanted to go, and we said yes. We said yes to different types of projects in different asset classes that we didn't have experience prior working on because of the relationship. And we then became expert through, some trial and error and some it's in our wheelhouse. It's just like it's
sure,
a tangential asset. We just haven't worked in it yet. We had done medical, and so dental could be, a transitional type
sure,
of, there's certain things that equate. The work that brought us national was the cannabis industry. We were working adjacent to Illinois in multifamily and commercial and residential. And cannabis took us to a national portfolio. Veterinary has now taken us to 2 other states doing work in the veterinary industry. We weren't working in those industries prior to working in those industries. And now we have a long list of cannabis projects that's taken us to 14 states. So that is, really a growth opportunity for us, saying yes to going to new states, curating new trades in new states, understanding jurisdictional and municipal, differences between the states and the municipalities that we work in. All those things are learning opportunities that we said yes to. Trades doing the same old thing is going to get them the same results. We've been very much of the mentality of entrepreneurial and opportunity driven, all based in relationships.
yeah. And I mean, for me, the big takeaway here is that it's in your culture, it's in your blood, the way you approach your entire business. It's not just the relationships with trade partners. It's not just the relationships and how you grow your team. It's not the relationships with the clients. Like you show up and you behave in the same way in all of those relationships. It's not like you're on for one and off for the other. So I think the big takeaway for me is, if you're listening to this and you are in the trades and you want to grow your business and you want to be able to have preferred relationships with the GCs, and you want to be able to attract the best people that are out there, and you want to be called on to come back for repeat work, it's about leveling up. It's about saying, hey, you know what? Yes, and I'm going to do a little bit more, and I'm going to be a little bit more responsive, and I'm going to put more emphasis on the relationship and less emphasis on checking the boxes. I'm just going to make sure that providing that premier or preferred relationship that the GC wants. And I think that when you do that and you have that mindset on growing the business, the people are going to follow, the work's going to follow. You're just going to all around have a better business. Ira.
Yes, I mean, I can say this. I've been witness to some of the trade partners that have been going with us as we've grown. The way it looks on their end that they've grown is they've got 6 other general contractors like Mosaic feeding them. So not only have they staffed up for more work on our team projects, they've got more team times X because they're saying yes to other general. I mean, you can tell the growth. You know, they've expanded, they've moved. They've got a newer fleet. Their guys are more professional with the uniform. I mean, that is so impressive if you see that take place from my lens.
Yeah. Ira, this has been great. So for people that are listening right now, whether it's to just learn more about Mosaic, maybe to reach out and start that preferred relationship, maybe there's an opportunity for some trade partners in new areas. You got 14 states, you're doing new projects. I'm sure there's opportunities. How do people get a hold of you? How do they learn more about what Mosaic's doing?
Thank you. If anything that we talked about piques the interest of one of your listeners, I'm best reached at our office, 847-504-0177, Chicago suburbs. But, email, hopefully it doesn't get caught on the spam filter, but email Ira, IRA, at mosaicconstruction.net, our website, mosaicconstruction.net. You can get to all of that anyway through the website as well. So, awesome. We operate 3 different brands that are highlighted on the Mosaic site if you tab below, and that's where our national work is in the cannabis facility construction vertical, and the veterinary is under the design construction concepts vertical, and those are the 2 other brands under the Mosaic corporate umbrella. And happy to talk to anybody that is interested in doing it the right way.
I love it. Ira, thank you so much for being on the show today. I've learned a lot. I know our listeners got a ton of value. We will have all of those links in the show notes. So it'll be really easy if you are behind the windshield right now listening. When you get back to the shop, go ahead and pull up our website and you can get all of this information and connect with Ira. Ira, thank you so much. Fun.
Thank you, Ryan.
Ryan Englin here. Thank you so much for listening to Titans of the Trades. If you're a titan in the construction, manufacturing, or skilled trades industry and would like to be a guest on my show, please visit podcast.corematters.com. If you found value in this interview, would you share this episode on social media? Just do a quick screenshot on your phone and share it with a friend or post it on social. And if you know someone that would be a great guest, tag them on social media to let them know about the show and include the hashtag Titans of the Trades. I love seeing your posts and guest suggestions. We are regularly putting out new episodes and content. To make sure you don't miss any episodes, click the subscribe button. Your thumbs up, ratings, and reviews go a long way to help promote the show and get me one step closer to solving the labor crisis facing the industry. Want to know more about how we're doing that? Go to our website or follow me on LinkedIn. Thanks for listening.